Hi, it's Timo. Welcome to Norwich City Central.
Hello everybody, Lewis, Norwich City Central. Hope you're all doing well. Norwich City turn their attentions now to the FA Cup. There were so many games in December, wasn't there? And Norwich City will probably look back on the end of the season and look at some of those dropping points in all games at Carrow Road, all those games there was in front as well. Arsenal, Tottenham, Sheffield United, Wolves and Crystal Palace on New Year's Day, and look back and probably think they should have won a few of them, and that could be the difference in survival or not. But no, really looking forward to this FA Cup game. Love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section, how you prioritise the FA Cup. I think for mid-table clubs like Everton and Crystal Palace, who, if European football might be a stretch for them this season, I think it'll be, it's a great competition for them. But for teams like Norwich, who are trying to survive in the Premier League, and the fact that we've got a very small squad anyway, I'm not sure how much we should prioritise it. And don't forget, in the League Cup against Crawley, Tim Closer got his season-ending injury, so it's a tough one to balance between how good of a squad you want for this game. And coming up against Preston, who are high-flying in the Championship, this will be a difficult game. A 3:01 o'clock kickoff, the 1 minute after 3 being a campaign for mental health. But let's go with the team. In goal, Ralph Fairman. He came in, and I think a lot of fans were expecting him to be the #1 goalkeeper. Tim Krul had an average to relatively good Championship season, but Tim Krul's been one of our players of the season. He's been fantastic. And Ralph Fairman's now got a chance to try and stake a claim in the team. If I was him, I'd be absolutely gutted. He's a fantastic goalkeeper who's, played in the Champions League, and he's probably be disappointed he's not playing first team football, but a good chance for him to play today, and a keeper who I think can do very well. Right back, Sam Byram. If we lose Max Aarons in the summer, I'd love to see Sam Byram play for Norwich if we do get relegated to the Championship. I think he's been absolutely excellent, one of our best defenders, and let's hope he can stay injury-free because he's been fantastic this season. And Norwich City don't particularly have a big squad, so he's definitely a player I'd be playing in this FA Cup game. At the back, Christoph Wimmerman and Grant Hanley. I don't think we've got any other centre-backs. Tim Close is injured, Ben Godfrey's injured, and I'd like to see Amadou play in midfield, because we haven't seen much of him in midfield this season. But Zimmerman and Hanley, I think, can both do a good job at centre-back. Praying they don't get an injury, that would be absolutely disastrous. I think Grant Hanley's coming in, he's been a real leader, and he's been better than Crystal Zimmerman in recent weeks. Left-back, Jamal Lewis, he's lost his place in the team to Sam Byram, but Jamal Lewis was absolutely fantastic in the Championship last season, and it's a good chance for him to try and stake a claim in the team. He did play against Tottenham as well, and he's a really good left-back. I love him. Athleticism, and a fantastic work rate. There's two central defensive midfielders. For me, it'll be Amadou and Mo Leitner. Starting with Amadou, I think Amadou was a fantastic buy from Stuart Webber, obviously getting him on loan, but with a view to a permanent deal. He's also a player who's played in European football, and he's a fantastic player. I don't think we've seen the best of him yet in central defensive midfield. Obviously, he's been playing at centre-back, but in central defensive midfield, he can stake a claim in the team. And, in the second half of the season, he could possibly replace Alex Tettey, although Alex Tettey's been very good. Alongside him, Mo Leitner. Mo Leitner hasn't played since Brighton, hasn't played for Norwich in over 2 months, hasn't even been on the bench after a fantastic start to the Premier League. You do question what happened between him and Daniel Farke. A lot of rumours going around saying Leitner said Daniel Farke's game management was poor and they had a falling out. And, with every passing week in which Mo Leitner can't get into the team, that does look more likely. And I think that did happen, to be honest. But it'll be interesting to see whether Mo Leitner plays in this FA Cup game. And if he doesn't, then I think that could spell the end of his Norwich City career. The three attacking midfielders. Firstly, Onel Hernandez. He's had an injury at the start of the season. He came back and did quite well, but then I think in recent weeks he's struggled. I don't think his end product's been particularly great in the Premier League, but his pace can always cause teams problems. And I'd like to see if we can get Onel Hernandez at his best, then off the bench he can be a real impact sub. I do like him. I think he was good in the Championship, and he's our actual only real winger with pace. So it's important he doesn't get injured, and I like him. I think he could do a good job. Marcus Stupiman in central attacking midfield was very good in the Championship, in particular the second half of that Championship season. I think he's been poor in the Premier League, though. I don't think he's cut it. I thought he was okay against Tottenham, but at the start of the season, I thought he was very poor. And Kenny McLean, I think, has done a better job in that number 10 role. But a good chance for him to stake a place in the team. And on the left of midfield, Patrick Roberts. Now, there's rumours going around. At the time of recording, Patrick Roberts is still a Norwich City player, but there's rumours going around that he might be going on loan somewhere. He just hasn't had the game time under Daniel Farke. He looks so good in pre-season. I remember that stunning goal against Luton in pre-season. He's a fantastic player, obviously playing with Celtic, and he's meant to be one of England's next big stars, but he hasn't got to that potential. But he's a fantastic winger, and just like Mo Leitner, if he doesn't play in this game against Preston, I think that will spell the end of his Norwich City career. But you look, if he can play against Preston, get a couple of goals, then there's no reason why he can't start against Manchester United. But I just don't think Daniel Farke rates him. And up front, Pukki needs a rest. I think Shabeni and Dermot are still going to be injured. So regardless, give it to Adam Ida, one of Norwich City's next big talents. All our academy players under Daniel Farke, Jamal Lewis, Max Aarons, Ben Godfrey and Todd Campbell have all done exceptional. And Adam Ida could be the next one to do really well. Striker, he's tall, he's got pace, and he's regarded as one of the next big talents. Obviously making his Premier League debut against Crystal Palace. He's got to start, in my opinion. So for me, I think that would be the team. I think it's quite a strong team. If Patrick Roberts doesn't play, I would probably play Kenny McLean out on the left. This Norwich City team, I think, does like a little bit of squad depth, but regardless, I think we should still play a relatively strong team. Or even if Patrick Roberts doesn't play Todd Campbell out there and try and get him to continue his goal-scoring form. The only players I'd really think about resting are Pukki and Buendia, just because they're so influential. But yeah, I think Todd Campbell could start at this game and do well. But that would be my team to face Preston North End. Preston are a really good team, but I'd like to see us have a cup run, but obviously let's hope for no injuries. Score prediction. I'm going to back a 2-1 Norwich win. Adam Ida to score for Norwich, with Marco Stupman also to get on the score sheet. Thanks for watching. If you're new to Norwich City Central, please subscribe, and I'll see you later.